Have you ever wondered how a Japanese train toilet works? Is it like the one at home, or more like a portable toilet on a construction site? Think about it for a second. You can't just drop everything onto the tracks below. But a train isn't plumbed into the city sewer either. So where does it all actually go? Today, let's dig into Japan's train toilets.
Most trains don't actually have toilets. Commuter trains, the short-haul kind most city riders take every day, generally don't have any at all. In this video, we'll focus on 3 trains that do, and use them to tell the whole story. Our 3 subjects: the Shinkansen, Japan's bullet train; JR East's Ueno-Tokyo and Shonan-Shinjuku lines, which are long-haul commuter routes; and the Oigawa Railway in Shizuoka, a tourist line that still runs steam locomotives and vintage coaches. The cutting-edge, everyday long-distance commuting, and a piece of living history. Compare the 3 side by side, and the entire evolution of train toilets becomes visible.
Let's start with history. For most of the railway era, train toilets were open drop. The bowl had a hole at the bottom that opened directly to the tracks. Wind from the moving train would scatter the waste. Yes, really. Hard to believe today, but this was completely normal right up to the 1970s. Surprisingly recent.
The result was predictable. Waste sprayed across station platforms and over the tops of bridges. In Japan, it earned a name, Ogai, literally yellow hazard, and became a real social problem. Japan National Railways, later JR, gradually switched over to systems that held the waste in a tank and processed it later. This was the first major turning point in train toilet history.
Let's zoom in on the Oigawa Railway. The vintage passenger cars that still run on this line were originally open drop, and astonishingly, they still are. Ceramic squat toilets from Toto or Asahi Eito with a hole opening straight down onto the tracks. A piece of Showa-era engineering still in active service as a tourist line. Oigawa is also famous for running real Thomas the Tank Engine trains. The Annie and Clarabelle style coaches Thomas Poles have open drop toilets. A little jarring once you know, but a non-flushing open drop toilet still in commercial use anywhere is genuinely rare today.
Let's lay out the evolution of the train toilet on one timeline. After open drop came storage style, a large tank under the bowl, no flushing, waste just accumulating until the train returned to the depot. The weakness was water use. The tank filled up fast. That led to the recirculating system, which reuses its own water, and finally to the vacuum system, which uses pressure difference to suck everything away. 4 stages in one technology arc.
And the Ueno-Tokyo line and the Shonan-Shinjuku line. For years, these have used what's called a recirculating system. The tank under the bowl holds water mixed with a copper sulfate solution. That's why the water looks blue. A pump sends it up to the bowl. After flushing, the water passes through a filter that drops solids to the bottom of the tank, and the clear water on top gets sent back up to flush again. The same water over and over to keep the water budget tiny. With no plumbing connection on board, it's closer in spirit to a portable construction site toilet than to the one in your house.
And then there's the Shinkansen. If you've ever flushed a bullet train toilet, you know the sound. A sharp, violent thunk as everything is sucked away in less than a second. The bowl is just instantly empty. You will never feel that in a household toilet. The system behind it is called a vacuum toilet. Unlike a home toilet, which uses a huge gush of water to push everything down, the vacuum system keeps the pipe below the bowl at strong negative pressure, essentially a vacuum. When you flush, a valve opens briefly, and the pressure difference yanks the waste through the pipe in a single instant. The only water needed is the small splash that wets the bowl itself.
And here's a fun connection. The same idea is used on airplanes. The Shinkansen vacuum toilet was actually inspired by aircraft toilets and introduced from the 1990s onward. The pressure difference sucks it away mechanism is exactly the same. The difference is in how the vacuum gets made. An airplane at cruising altitude sits in low-pressure thin air, so the gap to cabin pressure gives the suction for free. The Shinkansen runs at ground level, so an onboard pump has to maintain the vacuum continuously. On the ground, airplane toilets also use a pump, so the two are clearly relatives. For any vehicle that can't carry huge amounts of water, vacuum is the rational choice.
Now, an obvious question. Couldn't you at least filter the urine and let it drain to the tracks? In modern practice, no. Everything goes into a tank. The reason is the same as before. Don't spray anything onto platforms or off the side of bridges. And on top of that, carrying a purification plant on the train itself is far more complex than just holding the waste and processing it on the ground later. This is a deliberate, hardline choice to make sure the yellow hazard era never comes back.
All of that waste, solid and liquid, flows into an underfloor tank. On the Shinkansen, stainless steel tanks hang below each toilet car, spreading the storage across the whole train consist. Capacity varies by series, but because the vacuum system uses so little water, the latest nozzles can actually make the tanks smaller than before. They're still sized to handle a full Tokyo to Hakata run without ever overflowing.
So who empties these tanks and when? The answer at terminal stations or back at the depot. Buried next to the platform or alongside the sidings, there's a manhole-style fitting called a waste extraction port. A hose connects from below the car and pumps the contents up. From there, it flows through underground piping to a large above-ground tank at the depot.
This job isn't done by the engineers who maintain the train itself. It's specialist cleaning contractors. For a Shinkansen, every turnaround gets a 30-second to 1-minute full extraction at the depot. From there, vacuum tanker trucks collect the waste and haul it to a nearby treatment plant. That's the standard flow. Put it all together, and the modern train toilet is neither the one at home nor the one at a construction site. It's a unique branch of engineering: vacuum bowl, underfloor tank, plus dedicated ground infrastructure. And even within train toilet, the three systems we looked at each evolved in completely different ways. None of them ever shared a path with the toilet in your house. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. On this channel, from an engineer's point of view, we dig into the everyday mechanisms around us, the ones you thought you knew, but maybe never quite understood. If today's story sparked even a little curiosity, I'll see you in the next video.